Right now, what so many of us are doing are hiding the unique, amazing, sparkly, interesting parts of ourselves to be able to fit within a beige, grey crowd. Welcome to Trujectory, the podcast committed to helping you align with who you really are, your true self. The one who is so comfortable with their uniqueness, so in love with life, and so effortlessly able to manifest everything they always dreamt of. I want this podcast to be a resource to help you jump into the driver's seat rather than continuing as a passenger in your own story. Let's understand why we choose to hold ourselves back so we can shed the lies that we've programmed into our minds. We can heal the root causes and step into the epic human that we know we can be. If you're ready to start aligning with your trajectory, let's do it. So today I want to talk about authenticity. And I've been thinking about doing this podcast for so many years. Now I'm finally making some action, getting into it. And I'm looking back at why it's taken me so long to actually get into it, to just leap in and do it. And it's all because of the fear that I've held about being myself, just being myself. It baffles me, it truly baffles me that one of the hardest things that we will ever do, one of the hardest things to achieve in this life is to just be ourselves. We're born ourselves, we're born very unique and, open-minded and playful and full of life and love and happiness and goals and ideas and imagination. And along the way, as we grow up, we start to make fitting in our number one priority. And as soon as we start to fit in, we change ourselves. We feel like we're not good enough to just be ourselves in a group setting, that we have to mold the ways that we are and make ourselves a little bit more dim the light to just fit in. And it's just really upsetting when you think about it. I mean, I'm sure everyone listening, there might be 1% of the people on this planet that are genuinely themselves all of the time. And you know who those people are because they have such a presence about them, such a strong energy, a strong power. And I mean, this is my goal. My absolute goal is to literally just be myself, and in all situations, the same person I am when I'm at home, as when I'm talking on the phone to someone, as I am when I'm doing business, as I am when I'm in social settings, and the same person on social media as well. I mean, that's a whole nother topic when, it's so easy to see trends that are happening on social media and feel like you have to fit into those sorts of trends to be liked, and you end up creating content just for likes and views. And then you find what video works best, what the people are liking, and then you start to steer all of your content towards that one video that got the most attention. And then when you step back after a little while, you realize that your initial goals with social media, the initial message that you might have had that you wanted to spread and share, has now sort of been shifted towards, well, what do the people want to hear? And you lose a little part of yourself every time. I mean, I am really trying to keep that word to myself and maintain my integrity when it comes to social media posting. I had a 2.5-year break. I went off Facebook completely. I went off Instagram for I think 1.5 years, maybe a little bit longer. And I just really needed some time to myself. I was going through a lot of physical, emotional breakdown times, and I needed to heal, and I really needed the noise of social media to go away. But it wasn't just the noise of other people's content, it was the noise of the constant questioning in my own head. What should I be posting? Should I be doing this to suit this person? Should I be doing this to do this? And even if I do have a message that I wanted to share, it was always tainted if someone had a negative comment. I wasn't strong enough at that time to be able to withstand negative comments. And that's just a part of the game. I mean, it's taken me a while to get to this point where I'm genuinely okay with one person hearing my content. And if it helps that one person, then that's fantastic. It was all worth it. But it's taken a long time to get here because the message is, well, if you're not trending, if you're not going viral on TikTok or Instagram or so whatever, all of the platforms, then, you're losing your worth in many ways. That's how people are sort of viewing it. And the reason it's taken me this long to get this podcast going, I wanted to start it back in 2017. And only just now, in 2023, I'm finally making some moves. I'm only just doing it now because I'm finally okay with the beginning. I'm only at the beginning of this journey. This is going to take years, I assume. If I crack the code any earlier, of course, I will let you all know. But becoming your true authentic self at all times, there are so many variables. There are so many elements to doing that, to achieving that. There's so many parts of yourself that you've got to look at, and you've got to ask, why did I choose to hide this part of me? What are the parts of me that I'm not okay with? What are the parts of me that I'm judging? Because at the end of the day, all of the judgment that you fear from other people is always a reflection. It's a mirror of what you are judging within yourself. And the more that you can literally love yourself, have your back, support yourself, do the work. It's said all the time. It sounds cliche at this point, but it is so true. It's all we've got to do here is do the work to unravel the things that we've buried, that we've hidden within ourselves that we think we shouldn't show, because those are the things that make us unique. Right now, what so many of us are doing are hiding the unique, amazing, sparkly, interesting parts of ourselves to be able to fit within a beige, grey crowd and not stand out because, heaven forbid, someone might judge me. Guess what? If you start respecting yourself, loving yourself, digging so deep that you find every little bit that you are hiding and love the shit out of every little bit that you are hiding, who could judge you? What could their judgment do? They can go ahead and say whatever they want, but you get to a point where you can start to understand why people are judging. You can see that that's their pain body that's arcing up. It's their ego. It's their way of trying to defend their own choices, trying to defend the fact that they're trying to play it safe, and that's okay, even though deep down they really don't want to play it safe. None of us do. We all want to have the life that we dream of. We all want to have a brilliant lifestyle. We want to have good people around us. We want to have love. We want to have adventure. We want to have a career that we actually enjoy going to every day, something that we enjoy doing that literally lights us up, rather than feeling like we're a slave and we have to do certain things to make certain money, to pay certain bills, to live a certain way that we're told that we have to live. It just gets all really boring after a while. So I highly encourage anyone who's listening to this to start digging deep. It might start with just some mirror work. That is a big recommendation that I have. I always heard the word mirror work and shadow healing, shadow work. I've forgotten the word already. But it's all along the same lines where basically you need to go within. You need to look yourself in the eye, literally, and start figuring out what it is that you are not happy with yourself, figuring out why it is that you're not happy with yourself. Are they your thoughts, or are they society's thoughts, or your friends or your families? And a lot of the time you've got to figure out for yourself, are they fictional thoughts that you've believed that they will think or say or judge? Often we're so afraid of judgment of others that we don't make moves, we don't, take any risks, we don't do any big things. And then you find out later that that person wouldn't have judged you anyway. They actually have a similar interest. Or, I've had situations where I've had people judge me for stepping outside of the box a little bit, for following a career in creativity and filmmaking and all of the things that I wanted to do rather than office work, which was safety. And the people that judged me, I had to just keep moving forward and try not to take it on board too much, even though, of course, it affected me. But 5, 6, 7 years later, when I had become quite successful in the field that I was doing and I was living a lifestyle that I dreamed of, The people who judged me were the first ones to come up and say, I always knew you could do it. You legend, good on you. It's such a good thing that you're doing. So imagine if I had sat back and taken their word for it and lived this plain vanilla life because I felt like that was the only option for me. And then deep down, they would have been my biggest supporter at the end anyway. Sometimes you really need to take a risk, not just for yourself. I mean, obviously, that's the main reason you do it. But as a byproduct, you actually inspire others and you show them that it's possible to think outside the square for themselves. So it's a double positive. It is so worth you figuring out what you want so you can start to head towards that. Right now, a lot of us are just the passenger in our lives. We're just being driven around by constant content coming in at us, telling us what to do, what to think, what to eat, what to feel, what to wear, what to look like, how to speak, what words are trending. Then we've got work that's telling us how to operate and function and behave. And then we've got our families and all of our social requirements. And it just starts to feel like we're just being driven around by all of these other people's persuasions, all of these different elements that aren't your own choice. So I want you to start getting excited about jumping into the driver's seat. Instead of being at the effect of your life, being the cause of your life. Being at cause at all times is the most empowering state you can be in. And you can do it. You literally just have to start looking at yourself. Stop running 1,000 miles a minute. Take a pause, take a breath, look in the mirror, and start figuring out what it is you're hiding, why you're hiding it, who you're hiding it from, and start bringing it to the surface. And I'm going to interview a lot of people in this podcast about these sorts of topics because I want to know other people's advice. I want to know how they've done it. I've got quite a few people in my life that inspire me, that have followed their own hearts, that haven't been told, haven't, let the general consensus of stay small, stay quiet, stay plain, bleed into their system. They've actually gone, you know what? No, I'm doing this and I don't give a shit what they're thinking. And I want to take a little bit of that for all of us. I want us to get some advice and to understand so many different ways that we can start to create that confidence, regain it in ourselves. We all had it when we were born. We lost it. And now it's time to get it back. So then we can start to get ourselves directly aligned with the life that we want. It is so, so possible, my friends. It is so possible. There's so many things out there that we can do. Lots to learn. But for now, I'll leave it there. Get excited about getting to know you. Please go and do some mirror work, some shadow work, some deep healing. Sit silently with yourself. Even just doing that 5 minutes a day, that's starting to get you closer to you rather than spending every minute of your day listening to what everyone else wants. Spend some time with you every single day. That's step number 1. Many more steps, many more tools and resources and pieces of advice to come from myself and many other people while we all figure this thing out and help each other out. For now, stay you, stay true. Love you.